Welcome back to the homestead. Today we have a new project going on for the livestock we're getting.
We're getting pigs. So pigs are coming to the homestead. We couldn't be more excited to have them. This is all for our food security that we have. And today we're going to be building a shelter for them. So we want to bring you along and show you how we do it.
Let's get started.
Now what we're using for our material to build the pig shelter is actually from an old deck that we had on the front of our house. If you've seen a previous video of our before tour of our home, there's this huge deck on the front. So this is what we're using, is the wood that we saved from that, and we're going to be using it to build the pig shelter.
The lumber that we're reusing has a lot of nails in it, so it's going to take some extra time to remove these or bend them over as we go. But it's free lumber, so it's well worth reusing, and just kind of use what you have sometimes. I wanted to explain how we are making our rafters for our new pig pen. On this end, we measure from one side to the other, and then we'll get our center point. And in this case, we are at, let's see, 25 and a half is our center point. So there we just kind of, we make some boards that are like 5 foot long because we want this thing relatively pretty tall. Do your bird's mouth here on the ends. Yeah, when I'm talking about the bird mouth, I'm talking about how you cut the board out like a 90-degree angle so it fits flush on the platform. Up here at the top, I just wanted to show you that we take our like 5 foot boards and we'll butt them up together at the top, and that's when we draw the angle that goes down, and then we make the cut adjustment as needed. This might take a few tries to get it where you want it, but then once you have it, you can actually copy this design onto another board and just transfer that over and make the cuts then. Okay, so we save a couple of these for a template, and we'll mark each side which ones they are. So this one's marked left side, so we're building from the rear to the front, and we'll just use this template and we'll draw out on the next one here. Okay, I just want to explain this right here. This is a pocket drill hole, and we'll use this Craig device to make that. When you do that, you just don't want to make sure you're going very far. So it's set about 1.5 inch board on this end, and I've just been taking it up to about 3/4 on that end. Got 2 at the top, and then we got 1 each of the bird's mouth down there at the bottom. See this one over here? This side here, you can see where I pocket drilled that, and I put a screw in. And we are placing these rafters every 2 foot. Just note that this is a temporary board. We're just using to hold this back gable in on here. This will not remain on there attached.
Day 2 of building our mobile pig shelter. We didn't get it done yesterday. We did have some family stop by, so we took the time to spend with them.
So I just want to recap on what we got completed so far and give you a little overview, and we'll try to get this thing finished up here in a few minutes. So these are the rafters that we built. Just want to show you these corner pieces here that we made on the inside. And we're just corner bracing this because, you know, I think these pigs are going to be relatively strong, so we need to make sure this thing's built as good as we can. So I plan on building some more braces to go in between here.
In between the rafters?
In between the rafters, and we'll just nail them down to the base. Okay, so this is the blocking I was talking about putting in here. I'm going to glue it to this bottom board, and then I'm going to nail it on this end, and both these ends here, just to get these rafters good and sturdy. I got one of these blocks installed in between these two rafters in the back. I'm going to go ahead and put blocking throughout all these other rafters and attach them as needed.
Now that we have the rafter blocking all done around the base of the pig shelter, we're going to go ahead and put in the purlins. That's going to be the board that goes on top of the rafters here, and it's going to help make it more sturdy and also hold the roofing that we're putting on. We got the purlins done on the mobile pig shelter, and we're getting ready to go ahead and put the tires on. Now the tires that we have, they are solid rubber. They are not air-filled tires, and you can get them at Tractor Supply, Amazon. We'll be sure to link them in the description below where you can see what tires we're using.
I just want to explain a little bit about how we're going to do this. Is the center of the wheel to the ground is roughly 7 inches, and we want the house to actually be up off the ground. So we're going to do 3 inches. So I'm just going to go down 3 inches, so that'll raise. I have 3 inches underneath of the wheel. Hope I explained that correctly, or where you can understand it. So I just want to explain this better. So the center of the axle of the wheel is 7 inches, and we probably want this thing off the ground about 3 inches. So I'm going to drill a hole down there at 4 inches. So I'm just subtracting 4 inches, or 3 inches I mean, and that'll raise it up. So we're using a 5/8 rod, galvanized, and we're using some galvanized nuts on each side. And what we'll do, we'll double nut them on each side so it creates a lock so the wheel cannot turn off. So it just won't spin the nut right off. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. got both wheels installed on both sides. Just note that on the outside here we put double nuts to lock that in place so the wheel does not turn the nut off the shaft. Got nut on each side of the base here, and then we have a single nut here in the middle.
And then there's a nut on the inside there.
Yeah.
Day 3, we are getting this done today.
We got our roofing material on each side. We have to secure it down with some screws, and then we'll have to make a ridge cap. We kind of got an idea in mind. We're going to take some of that flashing tape, and we'll go down through there a couple rows just to keep the moisture and things out. And then we'll take a couple of these boards and we'll just kind of butt them up together and make a ridge cap. Now I'll show you here on the front. So our plan is to install some hooks on each side of this, and we'll be able to unlatch the chain and just remove it and install it as needed. I just want to explain what type of board this is that we got. You can pick this up at the big box stores anywhere. This is a T11. It is basically an outdoor shed siding is what they call it. I mean, this is kind of a roofing material for us right now. We haven't decided if we're going to stain it or anything right now. We're just going to get it buttoned up here and see what it looks like.
Now, even though this is taking us 3 days, you can definitely get this done on a weekend, on like a Saturday where you have all day to do it, so you have more flexibility with the time. We are in, our days have been kind of broken up on tackling this, but you can definitely get this done in a weekend or one day. So last night we got the roofing material on for this, but we secured it with a few screws. So what Justin's doing now is he's going to go ahead and secure more of the screws on the roofing material that we have. We're all done, finally. This last day was just a button up, and it just went really quick. And I'm excited that it's finally finished, and more excited to get our pigs that we're going to be getting. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then I also want to say that with this, I know Justin mentioned it before with the siding, that we might possibly change that for metal. We're not sure if we're going to do metal or if we'll keep this or stain it. And we're leaving the back and the front open for them, and then we'll see too if we want to end up closing that or not. But for right now, we're going to keep it open. If it gets a little bit cooler, we're looking at warmer days here in the future, so probably about high 60s. So I think we're going to leave it open, but if it drops back down, we'll definitely close it up for them to give more air, or to block the airflow for them. And then we're going to go ahead and recap everything what we did as far as measurements, and I'm going to let Justin tell you that.
Yeah, we'll go over that right now. Okay, just to go over the design that we chose to do. The platform is a 6x8, so that's our base. So it's 6 foot by 8 foot. The T111 boards here, they are 4 foot by 8 foot. That's what you buy at the big box store. For a ridge cap, we just reuse some decking material, as you can see. On the inside, we put in corner braces, so these were just cut off pieces. And the rafters we built ourselves. So that's kind of, at the beginning part is just kind of guesswork. We just kind of get it where we want it, and then we put them together, and then we'll use one for a template, and we'll just make the rest of them. The rafters are spaced every 2 foot, so we wound up with 5 sets of rafters going through this 8 foot side. Moving on to this side here. We put our blocking up underneath it here. So I want to put the blocking in here to support the rafters to make us stronger. I don't honestly know how strong pigs are, so I wanted to make sure that we make it as strong as possible through wood. I mean, we put some metal and stuff in there, we can definitely make it stronger, but we wanted to make it kind of lightweight. This is kind of heavy, but that's a good thing because we don't want the wind kind of blowing it over. So it's relatively heavy, but it ain't super heavy. Coming back to the axles here, we'll have to make a little minor adjustment here, but we drilled through our platform. We used a 5/8 rod. We double nutted the axle on the outside to keep it locked in place. We used a non-inflatable tire. You can pick these up at box stores. Put a nut on the back side, and then we got 2 nuts that are sandwiched between the platform, so that kind of holds I call it the axle into place there. I highly recommend getting the non-inflatable tires. So what I'm saying is the solid rubber ones is definitely worth the money. And the reason being is there's nothing worse than going out into the field where you're 100 yards away from your air compressor, and you find a tire that's flat, and you got to struggle to move something because there's no air in your tire. So it's just the price of aggravation. So it's well worth it to me to pay. I don't care if it's $5 or $10 more. It's definitely worth it.
Now you could easily do this build with pallets. We chose not to do pallets because we're actually using our pallets for another shelter that we're going to be using, and 2, we had so much wood left over from our decking. We still have wood left over, so we want to use that up, but to get it 1 out of the way and to use it for free lumber 2, to see how easy this project would be. But I could definitely see how you can use pallets and lay them this way on the shelter and put them up. And the third reason that we didn't use pallets was, for me personally, they just are heavy and awkward for me to be able to hold, to get it in position, and to hold and lift while he screws, nails, what have you. I just found this easier for me to help hold these pieces, and with sawing and all that and screwing it in, I found it easier for me to not use the pallets. But that's up to you. You make the choice what you find best for you to build your shelter. If you have pallets, I highly encourage you to try to use the pallets the best way you can, and you just find whatever you have on your homestead and use it to put it to good use.
I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found this build helpful. And if you have any concerns or need any help with some designs on one of your projects, feel free to reach out with a comment below.
And make sure you hit that like button for us. That helps our homestead and our video to be able to reach other people that might be looking for a shelter that they need to build. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, and then also hit that subscribe and notification bell. You don't want to miss when we get our pigs. I'm excited. I can't wait to show you guys when we get them. So make sure you hit that so you can see the video when we pick them up.
We'll see you on the next video.
See you on the next one. God bless.